Welcome to the Audio. I'm your host, Beef Loaf. This show is being sponsored by our friends Punky's Pizza and Pasta, located at 2600 South Wallace, my personal favorite eatery in the neighborhood. They have the best selections of pizzas and pastas, as well as sandwiches and salads of any spot in Bridgeport. Currently, they have what they're calling the Pizza Happy Hour. Mondays and Tuesdays only, between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. You order a pizza from Punky's, and you get 50% off. Yes, you heard that correctly. 50% off. Pizzas ordered Mondays and Tuesdays between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m. How in the world can you get 50% off the best pizza in Bridgeport? The Pizza Happy Hour. Hit the website, punkyspizza.com, for all your carryout or delivery needs, or to cater your next party. You can also call 312-842-2100. The Scarlotta family will take care of you. Punky's Pizza and Pasta. The 108ers are hosting a live event Tuesday, June 17th at 5 p.m. at Cork at the Park, 3259 South Princeton, the Beef Loaf birthday party. We'll be performing a live, abbreviated podcast and enjoying $5 Twisted Teas for my birthday before we head over to see Sox battle the Cardinals at 6:40 p.m. at Sox Park. Remember, Cork at the Park, 3259 South Princeton. Come out and join us. There'll be drink specials, food specials. We'll be giving White Sox goodies away. However, absolutely no fucking bingo. Tuesday, June 17th, 5 p.m. Be there. This show is also powered by you, the loyal 108 supporter. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Feel free to tickle the undercarriage in the process. Like, comment, turn on notifications, and most definitely super chat, because that's how we get paid. That's how we continue to make the content you know and love. Tonight's guest. He is White Sox Twitter's resident heel, a longtime menace on the message boards and the previous regime of Southside Sox. He's also a dance dad and the Harold Baines Hall of Fame stand, KenWo. Welcome back to the Audio, my friend.
What's going on, Beef? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I've been looking forward to talking to you. And actually, to let everyone know, I reached out to you like 3 months ago. Like, Ken, what you got going? You got anything on your mind? You said, Beef, just slow down a little bit. Give me some time, and then I'll have some shit going. And now the boys been playing ball, and you've had a lot of takes and a lot of shit out there, so it's time to bring you on.
Exactly. I'm ready to go.
Now, are you drinking any Bud Light Lime right now? I couldn't tell what you had going over there.
I'm drinking real American beer, Hulk Hogan's own. Very good. Very tasty.
So you left the BLLs. You're on with the Hogan's beer. Okay, I got it. That's your guy. That's your man. 50 grand. I can get on with that. So let's jump right into it here. One glaring bright spot in the White Sox early season so far. We're 2 months and we're roughly a third of the way through the year, so you can start seeing what's real and what's not. In a 162 game season is Miguel Vargas. He had a major breakthrough the last month. Plus, he's been absolutely crushing the ball. Really, he's turned into the White Sox best hitter on their entire team. A good chunk of White Sox fandom was out on him last year, Ken, and I'm talking in the offseason. People telling me they should just not even give him an opportunity to play on this team. And I was telling him, well, they just traded for this guy. Just give this guy a little time or whatever. But you, of all people that I've known, have never lost faith in this dude. How come, and what did everyone else get wrong here about Miguel Vargas?
Well, the first thing, and very key, is when you see all the people going against somebody, that's when to buy in on them, because they're wrong 95% of the time. That's how I'm right all the time, because I just go against what the popular opinion is.
But the populace is dummies. I hear you. That makes sense.
Yeah. But one thing that I did see with him is everybody was like, oh no, we got to get rid of this guy and play, Andrew Vaughn and Tim Elco and Brian Ramos and all these guys. And a quick look at their minor league stats shows that this guy was way better than any of those guys. And I know he played in LA's minor leagues, which the PCL inflates some stats.
Right. Yeah. So they're at altitude, so the power a little bit. Yeah.
Right. Yep. But like, you're looking at this and you're like, wait, you want to cut this guy for this guy? Like, what are you doing? Like, Charlotte's not like a fucking hard place to hit home runs either.
No.
And nobody's doing it down there. So why are we going to bring them up and go against this Vargas guy? And another thing why I kind of thought he might have had something more in him was
Ken, we lost I lost your volume there for a second. No, you're muted. You're off. Lost Ken for a second there. Let's get to this drink real quick. Gordo says, I'm here to hear who breathes heavier, Beef or Ken. Hey, now, take it easy. Thank you, Gordo. Yeah, just let him get his sound going here. And Nothing yet. I don't know. And you just kind of went out in the middle of a sentence.
Are we good now?
Yeah, we're good. You're back.
Oh,
Yes, you're back.
I don't know
Okay.
what happened. Okay.
Sorry. So you had noticed something else about Miguel Vargas.
Yeah, it was Gordon Beckham was breaking down his swing, and he's like, if he just got his foot down a little bit earlier, this could happen. Like, he's late getting the foot down. And then like the next day he did, and he like ripped the double somewhere. So I was like, there might be more to this guy than we see in this bad showcase that he had. And it was awful. No doubt about it.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And it was for a dead ass team too. A team that's trudging towards a record amount of losses that's pretty down because their entire season as well.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of got pissed at him too in the offseason because it looked like he was still bemoaning again, not being on the Dodgers. I was like, hey man, you wouldn't even have fucking played over there. So get your head in the fucking game. Let's go. This is your shot. So, I had to pump him up on Instagram a little bit.
You had to get him motivated. What surprised me about this and watching all this, I didn't have a strong position either way on Vargas. I just thought they're definitely going to play him, and there's no reason not to run it out for the reason you mentioned before, too. Not only to trade him, but his minor league stats bear it. Right. He should get a longer extended shot. And if it got to June or July and he wasn't hitting it all, then you start reevaluating, but take a look at it. But what I noticed is other people were very vocal against him. They didn't seem to learn anything by it. They just feel like, oh, well, it's just a miracle that the guy started. And so, it wasn't my fault. I'm not dumb for this. This just happens sometimes. It's a fucking miracle. So very, very surprising. I hope you stay on those people, Ken, while you're out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Another bright spot on this team this year has been Mike Vasil. One of the few bright spots out of the White Sox bullpen. Why are you higher on Vasil than the rest of the stats community seems to be so far? And also, you being the original Get spot, what the fuck is going wrong with Get's bullpens here, man? They're killing me. They're putting years on my life, Ken.
They have not been very good. But Vasil, I like him because he gets guys out. I mean, he gets guys out, plain and simple. And maybe it'll come to an end, the stats guys. But it looks to me like he's getting better. He has some confidence going. He started striking out more guys. And I mean, to me, he's the only guy to bring in if you have a lead, because everybody else is a crapshoot. And the part that you're talking about, the bullpen, I really don't know what they're doing, but I don't want them to throw a lot of money at it either. So it's
I'm with you. I did not like the Han version of let's just pay every guy $9 million. That's dumb. Like other teams can build the bullpen on the fly. They just haven't been able to do it in these first 2 years when they've been doing this.
Right. But I see on White Sox Twitter a lot recently that everybody wants to trade Davis Martin, and we might have guys coming up and to take his spot in the rotation, and maybe we could get something for him, which personally I don't think you're going to get very much for him to begin with. Right. And second of all, if guys come up and take his spot in the rotation, you can put that asshole in the bullpen. And he's better than anybody you got in there. So why would you trade him? I don't understand it. You're not going to get a stud hitter for this guy. So just like play it out. If he's not good at any of these guys, Burke, Cannon, if none of them are good enough to start, they're better than what we got out in the bullpen. So just throw them right out there.
Yeah. That's an old school mentality too. It's like, the failed starters become those guys, and that's been where I've been a little upset with with Banny and Getz is like, go find me a failed starter that throws 99 that can't find the strike zone and fix that motherfucker. That's the guy we need in the bullpen. I need a guy breathing fire, throwing sliders, doing all this shit, and they just haven't been able to bring in a guy like that. Now with Vasil, question for you on this, Ken. Like his pedigree is originally a starter,
right?
And they've been using him in longer stints. Do you think somewhere in the back of their mind, their thought is maybe next year they stretch him back out and give him an opportunity to be part of the rotation?
I'm kind of surprised they didn't do it already but they signed Hauser, who's been good. So can't really complain about that.
Can't complain about that shit. Yeah, no, it's true.
You might as well try to get him as much length as you can. If you need him to start next year, perfect. If not, he's ready to go in the bullpen again.
Yeah.
So
I
think that was a good pickup. So
I mean, I applaud Getz for both the Rule 5 pickups working out great. Shade Smith's been their best starter. I mean, de facto best starter, and Vasil's been terrific in his role in sort of a long man. Let me get to this drink right here. And this is from Gabriel Bearstown. He says, That's Ken why the Bears are the best and the Raiders suck.
The Raiders definitely suck, but the Bears aren't the best either, Gabe. So they're, split the difference there.
Been a long drought for each of the teams. Now, and let's flip over to the hitter side. This guy got a lot of fanfare, showed up for a couple weeks, actually hit a few home runs. And that's Tim Elco. He actually was sent back down with Andrew Vaughn. This big, brooding, orange power hitter coming out of the Sox farm system. All these fans seem to love him. But you, of all people, who loves big power hitters, were low man on him. You just weren't very excited. What's the deal, Ken? What's the deal with you and Tim Elco? It almost feels like a thing with you guys. Did you guys get in a fight in a parking lot somewhere? What the fuck?
Maybe,
here?
But no. Elco, I don't know. You just look at his pedigree, and it's just it's not very impressive. And what does he do? I mean, he'll hit some home runs, I think, but it's going to be a struggle to hit 200. I call him a poor man's Matt Davidson. That's what I think he is. So like everybody is like going crazy for this guy, and I just don't see it. I don't know. I mean, it was nice to have a couple home runs in there. So, if he comes up, that's fine. I don't not like the guy. I got in trouble when I was like, this guy shouldn't be taking time away from Vargas. And everybody's like, oh, Vargas sucks. And then Vargas went on to have a great weekend. And,
he went on a heater right after that.
Yeah, just right then he went on a heater. And I'm like, this is why that guy shouldn't take Vargas's job. But if he's going to play for Vaughn or DH or something like that, then I don't necessarily have a problem with him. But you got to temper your expectations. This guy is not Manny Ramirez coming up to the White Sox, I mean, it's not Matt Davidson. That's what we're looking at, I think, with Tim Elco. So
and for a team that's starved for power, I kind of get the fans being like, fuck, we'd love to have anyone yank the ball out of here, especially because your main two guys who should be hitting home runs haven't been worth the shit all year with Andrew Vaughn and Luis Robert. But it's interesting, the fan dynamic, just so excited to see anyone lifting and hitting a home run out of the ballpark and getting pulled up here. And the guy's got some cachet too, because I guess he was a College World Series hero for Ole Miss back in the day. But yeah, I'm probably more skeptical than the field, but not as far as skeptical as you. But I think he is a guy who yanks some home runs. I agree with that part.
Yeah.
So, but I guess we'll see. I mean, what do you think? You think he starts getting a longer audition once we get past the trade deadline, or when do you think they kind of bring him back?
I mean, as soon as they get rid of Michael Taylor, probably. I don't know why he's still there, honestly. Yeah. Like, I feel like Austin Slater can perfectly fill the Michael Taylor role, and we don't need to see Michael Taylor anymore. But, when they have a lot of outfielders, so when they decide to rid themselves of one of them, that's when you might see Elco back up, I think.
Yeah, and the fans are going to absolutely adore it. Now, I mentioned it briefly earlier. Luis Robert Jr. is solidly on the struggle bus. I'm at the point now where I was sad about it. Now I'm emotionally removed myself from being sad about this situation. But if you were in the dugout and you were tasked with getting Luis out of this fucking slump, what would you do? I want to put you in the spot, Ken.
I would find him the biggest, fattest, disgusting woman and tell him to go have a slump buster right then and there. That's what I would do with Luis Robert. But either that or a big kick in the ass, because I mean, he just looks so weak and soft out there. Like I don't understand what's going on with the guy. But it's gotten to the point now where I don't even know what you're going to get for him. He's a decent center fielder, so somebody might pay for like a fourth outfielder.
Right.
I don't know.
Gamble on him to see that they could fix him. But yeah, I mean, the value back is low. Like I look at it from our perspective as White Sox fans, the value we're going to get back is pretty low. But then when you flip it and you're someone else, you're some other team, you're like, well, if we could fix whatever the fuck is wrong between this dude's ears or whatever's going on here, man, we got a fucking something nice here. Good defender and center. And so it's interesting to see where that ends up landing as we get closer to the trade deadline. But yeah, I can't figure it out. Like I had thought someone mentioned it to him apparently that like, guys are in a slump, they go out and they hit the bottle and then they get hung over and then they don't think about it the next day. And he kind of laughed that he doesn't do that or whatever. But he hasn't tried to like tough guy's way through it. He's like, I suck so far. Like, I don't know why any team will want me either. In a way I almost feel bad for dude, but like, He needs to get out of it. It hurts me emotionally. It's tough watching the game. Like, they even moved him down to 7th. I was relieved. I was like, good. I hope the game does not run into Luis Robert today.
And then it did. It did. But I saw today some people on there were talking about how, like he's doing this on purpose because it's the quickest way out of Chicago. No. This shit isn't the quickest way out. Like, the quickest way out is being fucking awesome. Correct. And then somebody wants you and they'll trade you. That's the quickest way out. This way, maybe you'll get traded, maybe not. Then do the Sox pick up the option in hopes that he finds it next year?
He turns it around.
I don't know. Or do you just leave him go for nothing? I really don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. It
has to be incredibly emotionally taxing for him right now to be playing this poorly after he has been so good before. There's no way anyone would voluntarily do that shit to themselves. Like, it's ridiculous to even think about it like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what his issue is. Like, is he nursing something? Like,
an injury that we don't know about. I kind of seen a couple. I saw your buddy White Sox Dave tweet this, that he thought that them trying to teach him more plate discipline has kind of like threw off his rhythm at the plate, and so he's not ready enough when pitches he should smash. Yeah, he's not aggressive enough. Yeah, and he's like, he needs to be a rip it and grip it guy and not worry about all this other shit. Just go up there, let the athleticism flow through him, and yeah, he's gonna strike out on some dumb pitches because of it. But too bad, we need this power,
Right? Yeah, surprisingly enough, I think I agree with Dave.
Let me write this down. Hang on a second.
Yeah, write that down.
Well, anyway, I hope that he does find himself a big, huge monster like you suggested and get out of this. That might be, I'll yell that from right field today when I go on to
So we have 400-pounder.
There'll probably be a few in the park. I'll just point to him in the stands. You can go over there around. I'll have my Sox number lasso them in and bring him over to Luis. So we're here to help. We're here to help White Sox. We mentioned a little bit earlier that there have been trade rumors abound for some of the White Sox pitchers from White Sox Twitter. Shane Smith, I've seen. You mentioned Davis Martin. Have people gone fucking mad talking about trading these guys this fucking early?
I think they're out of their mind. Why the fuck would you trade any of these guys? Like, Shane Smith has been awesome, and I've enjoyed watching him. His last start was a little shaky, but other than that, he's been money. Like, and you have him under control for like 5.5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, his sister comes to the park all decked out. She's lovely.
Yeah,
why would you get rid of this guy? Why would you trade him? And like, anybody could have had him 6 months ago. So
yes.
Are they going to trade a whole lot for this guy at this point? I don't think so.
No,
and same thing with Martin. I don't think they're going to give you a whole lot for him. You might get a lottery ticket, but that's about it. So, like I said, just keep these guys, and if they work their way back to the bullpen, then fucking beautiful. Then you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, exactly. Having too many starters is never, ever a problem. It's never been a problem in the history of baseball.
Mariano was a starter for a little while,
That's right. And he had to move on. He couldn't quite do it. Yeah, I don't understand it either, Ken. You brought up a great point. Like, Shane Smith was just a Rule 5 guy available to absolutely anyone. I don't think the marketplace is going to say, oh, you're way more valuable than that now, just from 12 starts or whatever. I think they would want to see more. And he's a young guy, too, in the fact that, like, this doesn't really affect Davis Martin. Davis Martin should be able to throw 150, 160 innings or whatever it is. And if a playoff team wanted him, he should be ready to go. But this kid hasn't thrown as many innings, and so they might not be ready to ride his ass. Like similar to Crochet last year, where when you're heading into the playoffs, you're like, I don't know if he's got this in him because he hasn't built up completely yet. So it has been pretty curious. I know White Sox fans are fixated on the fact that the offense sucks, but how about let's enjoy our found money here. Like, they got a cheap starting rotation right now. When you look at Smith and Cannon and Martin, and even Burke has been pitching better lately too. I
mean, that the starting pitching has been their best thing. Like, that's their one thing that's working out for you. So I don't know why you trade any of those guys. Now Hauser, maybe, a couple more
you flip
starts.
him.
Okay, he's gone. That's fine. But the rest of these guys, there's no reason to trade them right now.
Yeah, another thing is too, like with what they can trade other than a rejuvenated Luis Robert that's playing well again. None of it is anything special where you're going to get more than a lottery ticket, or maybe like I saw the guy that they got for Tanner Banks, William Bergoya, is playing good at Double-A shortstop. He's like a lot of but that's like the outlier. You're not going to get
Right.
someone great generally with these. These are small trades. You might be able to get a little something fun, you know?
Right. Yeah, you'll get a little something, but to me, you just would rather keep these guys and move them back to the bullpen. If Noah Schultz and Hagen Smith, and who's on the injured list now, by the way. So it's never a guarantee that these guys are going to come up and be great, you know? So you keep them around, see what happens. I wouldn't trade them.
Totally agree. And I'd be, unless you're overwhelmed, I would not either. I'd listen, but I wouldn't be very active in that market.
Yeah,
no. I don't think at all. So
me either.
We are 2 months into, we're more than 2 months, but we're 2 months of a season into the Will Venable era as the manager. I think we can start to form some early opinions. I initially did not have a hit piece to write on him like I did Grifol, because he's very buttoned up. He doesn't tell you hardly anything. He's super polished when it comes to the media. But when you start looking at Venable, Ken, give me some of your thoughts on what you think of him early on as a skipper, good, bad, or otherwise.
Well, I think he's good in the clubhouse. I feel like the players actually like him, where I didn't get that feeling from Grifol at all. Like, you know, they might have said they did, but it was always like, this guy's an idiot.
Right.
But I feel like Venable is good, and I've seen him make some good moves, but then I always question, this guy plays the infield in any situation.
It's crazy,
ever.
right?
And like, I get it that we don't hit a lot, so you want to limit the runs, but the way he's doing it is he's opening up for more runs, bringing the infield in with second and third the one time. It's like, what are you doing? You know, you're going to give up more runs doing that. And another thing I think he's slow to react on is the pinch hitting. And even if it's like the last batter of the game, it happened yesterday. Who was the guy that made the last out? Oh, Rojas, Josh Rojas. Yeah. He shouldn't be up. Put somebody up that has a chance at hitting it out of the park. That's all I ask. Just one little chance. And he did it with that
with Capra in the Sunday home game.
Did hit a home run, which I almost had a heart attack. But
that was crazy. But yeah,
I would have been
don't leave the worst.
I was yelling to pinch hit for like 5 minutes before that. But you know, you got to be quicker on the trigger than that. You had some guys on the bench that could hit the ball out of the park, maybe more likely than the guys that you got up there. So I don't know. They're hitting 150 and 080 or something. Why are these guys batting as the last out in a one-run game? I don't get it.
Yeah, like I understand they're in there for the defense, but there's no more defense to be played, motherfucker. We need that right now.
It's either hit a home run or we're done. You know?
Home.
Yeah. So I think he's slow to react on the pinch hitting, and he's got to relax on calling the infield in the first inning, the third inning. You know, anytime there's a man on third, he's bringing the infield in, and I don't like that either, because it leads to some more big innings that shouldn't happen. You know?
Right. Yep. Yeah, it happened in the Cubs series, although there's an error too. But like you kind of open yourself up to that stuff. I totally agree. It's interesting. He does like to, and they've given him a better, more interchangeable roster, I'll say, than Grifol had prior. Sure. He likes to play matchups a lot. You know, platoon spots or whatever. And so a lot of times I'll look at the lineup for the day and I'm like, yeah, that's a decent lineup for whatever they got here and against this, this pitching. So to me, it seems like he's not a knucklehead, but I agree with you. There are some stuff where you're watching and you're like, maybe it's rookie slowness to react. You know, like
that's what I think. That's what I think. Yeah. I think he'll get better. I really do. Yeah. I'm usually pretty tough on managers, but him, I think he's going to get better at it, but he still needs to work on some things right now, you know?
And your buddy Pinos brings up bunting with respectable hitters in front of terrible hitters. Also, stuff. Yeah, there were a couple situations where it was weird. Why did they bunt with that guy? And then this garbage guy's up afterwards. So it's like, what is he doing here? It was very strange, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Pinos and White Sox Dave today. The fucking world's going to end.
I'm glad I could bring this all together one last time before then. Husky Bardo, he has a drink. He says, Ken, do you think MLB will have a salary floor or cap going into the CBA?
I don't think they will, and I think that's going to lead to a long time out. I think they probably should. I get yelled at when I say that, but for limiting spending and on players and making the owners rich and all that. But there should be a floor, and if the only way you could get a floor is with a cap, then do it, because there's basically a cap right now.
There effectively is.
Go past it anyway.
Correct. Yeah, no, it's not considered that, but it is like a cap. You're right. I mean, the Mets were willing to pay over at the Dodgers, but that's about it. Yeah, everyone else retreats. They have years where they like clipping salary, even though they make a ton of money just to get under that fucking, the tax, the luxury tax. So
yeah, for sure. But I do think there needs to be a floor because these teams just tanking out, not paying anybody, and paying $40 million. That needs to stop. You got to at least kind of get somebody to be competitive a little bit,
Especially asshole teams like the Pirates, who they got Skeens, and it's like fucking. I mean, they've been putting money into that team that had McCutcheon and all them guys that was really good, like was winning 97 games, and they didn't fucking put no money into that either. Like that guy.
The Pirates are terrible, a terrible organization.
The worst.
And I see people talking about them trading Skeens already. It's like, Jesus.
I mean, that type of thing is insane too, from the standpoint of like, here's the one guy that's your gate draw. Why would you want to fucking trade him? But you need that guy. You need someone to show up to your fucking games. I don't get it.
It's crazy. I don't get it either.
All right, let's jump off the White Sox. Get to a couple other topics before we get out of here. Mm-hmm. It's rumored that you forced NWI Steven into Twitter retirement. Couple questions. Do you feel bad about that? Do you miss him?
There are times when I would like to brag to Steven because he was very against Miguel Vargas. So I would love right now to be tweeting him every day and pissing him off every single day. But overall, no, absolutely don't miss him at all. He couldn't go soon enough, in my opinion.
Get him out of here. So the next one. Is there anyone currently who's in your crosshairs that you're pushing for early retirement from Twitter?
Along with Steve, Crawford left at about the same time. But then all of a sudden the 108 tourney comes up and he starts popping back up. I need that guy to get his ass out of here again. We need to end the Crawford era too.
Sounds good. Fake White Sox fan. That's what he is.
I don't like Cubs fans in my Twitter timeline.
That's right. He's masquerading on us. Now, Ken, I'm friends with a guy. I went to grade school with him. Known him a long time. He's been encouraging me and the boys to get a 108 message board going. I know back in the message board days, you were out there crushing it, my friend. Would you be game if there was a 108 message board for coming back and mixing it up, or is it Twitter only for you now at this point in your life?
I really did love the message boards. I ran wild on those things for a lot of years. I'd be canceled so fast if they could go back and read what I wrote on some of that stuff. But right now I'm Twitter only. That works for me. It's too hard to go into the rest and refresh to see all the new messages and respond to those.
You go down the thing.
Yeah. It's a little archaic for me at this point, but it was fun when it was there. I enjoyed it.
I mean, I always thought a lot of people, when they thought Twitter was going to, go away potentially or whatever, but when the sale was kind of going on, I wasn't sure if it was going to happen or all that shit. Everyone ran to Discord and was like, "Oh, we'll do Discord." I'm like, Discord fucking sucks in my opinion. I told the boys, old school message board, and they like the idea, but they don't want to be the moderator. They're like, no, someone else has to run it. We don't want to fucking do it. We just want to post that on the goddamn thing.
Right.
That's the problem, right, with the message boards.
For sure. And whatever happened to that Blue Sky? I thought that was very popular at one point.
It still exists, allegedly. I don't go over there, but it's
me either.
Let's get to the string from Nathan Sheba. Nathan says, put on the Sears maroon velvet jacket and I'll donate $100 to the charity of your choice. Thanks, Nathan. He's calling you out on the jacket. You put on $100 to charity of your choice.
It's after Memorial Day, Nathan. That's a fall and winter jacket. Come on.
All right, we'll line this up. We'll get him back another time, Nathan, and we'll get the velvet jacket on him.
That's
question about it. Speaking of message boards, I shared the news of the 108ers getting a White Sox bobblehead on the Chicago Fanatics message board last week when it got announced. And amongst the responses over there from this group was that, quote unquote, dirty old man on White Sox Twitter all have crushes on Matty Spagnola, especially KenWo. Ken, do you care to comment that you have a crush? That you're a dirty old man and you have a crush on Matty Spagnola. Is that true?
Well, dirty old man's a judgment call, but crush on Matty Spagnola? Probably not. No, there's too many things working against her for this,
Okay.
She is very big into the Bears. She likes to ride public transportation, which I wouldn't be found dead on. The the loop. I only go down there if I have like jury duty or something.
Okay.
So it just wouldn't happen. But for me and her, but I'm a happily married man of 20 years. So, I'm not looking for anything like that. On the other hand, I do enjoy talking with her on here and giving her shit. She takes it very well. She's always willing to give shit back, and she knows that I'm bullshitting. She doesn't get all offended like most people do on Twitter. And I also like it because it opens me up to a whole bunch of people. She's got a big following, whether it be the perverts or the Bear fans or Bear fan perverts. Whatever. Yeah. So
they cross over a lot.
Yeah. They cross over, and they don't really know who KenWo is. And then I get into big fights with them, and that passes my time very well. So, anytime I could give a little needling over to Maddie and get her all worked up and get her people worked up is a good time in my opinion.
Absolutely love it. I love it. A fair answer there. Well, Ken, thanks for sharing your thoughts on Miguel Vargas, Mike Vasil, Will Venable, and internet rumors. Remember, we ain't trying to be right on the show. We're just trying to understand. Anything you want to plug before you go, Ken?
Nah. KenWo for life on Twitter. That's it.
Take care, my friend. Good talking to you. Hope to see you at the ballpark soon.
All right, brother. Take care.
You got it. That was KenWo. That's it was a quick 30 minutes of him talking craziness. I loved every second of it. Next week's guest, I am going to have back on a sports talk radio legend. Julie Swika is going to be joining me next week. We're going to talk about the White Sox. I want to get some thoughts from her on what she thinks about the 2025 squad, a third of the way in, compared to the 2024 squad. I'm sure she's got a lot to say here on Twitter, saying a lot of things that she has to say about the White Sox so far this year. Thanks to Punky's Pizza and Pasta and all the one-way families up in the YouTube comments. Appreciate you smashing the like button, comments, and of course, drinks and tips. We'll see you on Thursday. We'll be in the chorizy-e zone. So it's going to be me and my Sox Summer, and we have a guest. I'm not ready to say who it is, but we have a guest. It should be a really fun one. So see you guys soon. Bye.